Hey y'all, welcome back to another video where we're gonna learn with Fern on how to use the 60-quart Hobart mixer here at Leaven Kitchen. So if you've been able to catch a couple of our other videos, you'll see that we've gone over a couple of 20-quart Hobarts, but now we wanna go over the big guy. This is a big 60-quart Hobart mixer. And there's really nothing to it. A lot of the components are gonna be the same. It's just a big, massive guy. Super heavy, you really can't move it much. Bowl is kind of heavy, so I definitely recommend using a cart kind of like this guy. That way you can sort of load it up, have it on there, and sort of move it around as you need in the kitchen, and you're able to scoop your product up as needed, right? So we'll go over a few different components here before we look at the machine. We have the bowl itself, of course. A lot of these are going to be similar or familiar to you, right? We have our dough hook. We have our paddle. And last but not least, we have our whisk, right? So main components, we have your bowl, paddle, whisk, dough hook. Let's take a look at some particulars on the machine. Even though the machine is similar to some of those 20 quarts, there are a couple little differences, and we'll take a look at those here. So the machine itself is pretty simple. You have your cage here, right? Similar to, say, the 20-quart machines. On the right side here, my right, you have your knob here that's going to go over your different speeds. And rather than sort of a lever, this guy is actually going to use sort of a turn system, a pulley type system to bring the bowl up. So what we're going to go ahead and do, now that we've seen all the components, I'm going to go ahead and load that bowl up for you, show you how to use that, and then we'll round out the video with how to clean it properly. A lot of it's going to be a little bit of a repeat because it's very similar to cleaning a smaller guy, and it's just in a bigger body. So starting off here with our big 60-quart bowl. It's on the floor here because it is kind of heavy, right? It's a nice steel bowl, but there is a little metal piece here that protrudes on the back. A couple little holes on here on each side, and really that's designed to where this can only go in a certain way. So as I load it here, just got to line the back up on the machine, line up my holes on each side, and now I'm in place. Once I'm in place as well, what I want to make sure to do is, for one, that it's snapped down properly. Now I can pull these guys, and what these guys do is it makes sure it's not rattling in there as you're using the machine. So as we get both sides, again, now you're good to go. From here, again, you'll notice this runs off of a cage, much like the other machines. There's a magnetic system in here that's designed to where it's not going to run if that cage is open. Another thing for this guy to run properly is the bowl actually has to be all the way up. Cage closed, bowl up. So really it's just a matter of cranking it up here all the way. Once I'm cranked up all the way, I just make sure I'm closed. Here, it uses a knob mechanism. It starts from hold and goes all the way up to 25 minutes. Now you can do the minutes. Once it's done, it'll just stop for you, or you can again simply leave it on hold. There is a little click there that you'll hear when it's on and off. But again, tip and trick here is make sure it's not on zero because it's not going to start. Make sure that knob is in the hold position. From there, we got a couple buttons. We have your start, and we have your stop. Pretty simple there, start, stop. You'll notice too, I don't have the attachment on there just so I can show you that guy just on its own. But once I open this, the machine's gonna shut off for me. And I just have to make sure I close it again, and I'm able to start up again. So I can either simply hit the stop button, or I can simply open it right up. Right now, we're just in the one position it's going that slow speed. So one thing you'll notice with this guy is that you will have to sort of bring it up and down if you do have to change attachments, right? But in this case, we'll use just a simple paddle. You notice these little grooves in here. It's only gonna go on one way and sort of spin. So what you wanna do is you find the portion of the machine. I'll go on this side. I'm gonna line up my groove, and then I'm just sort of just gonna spin it so it spins in place. Again, like the 20 quart or like your KitchenAid at home, pretty simple. Just spin it into place, it's gonna lock into place for you. So now I have my attachment in, I can start putting my ingredients in there, all my product in there, and I can be good to go. So once again, attachment is on. Pull this guy up, all the way up. You're gonna get a workout when using this guy because everything's heavy and it takes a little bit to get going. Go ahead and push this closed. What you'll notice too is that you wanna be very careful that this is closed all the way. Just by design and just by use, right, normal wear and tear, sometimes the bowl back here is gonna catch the cage. So you'll notice it's not gonna start for me. So I just wanna make sure I'm closed all the way, and now it's gonna start. Now when it comes to changing speeds, wanna make sure you're hitting that stop button, adjusting. You have speeds 1 through 4 on either side, but again, key is to stop, change your speed, you're ready to go, do your thing. Again, you can use a timer if you want. I recommend an egg timer. It's just gonna make life a little bit easy for you, so you're not really fussing with this. You can use it, it's gonna work, it functions well, but an egg timer just in general tends to be a little bit easier, a little bit more user-friendly. So now we're just ready to clean this guy. Nothing to it. Unplug, again, as always. Make sure you don't drop that guy too hard. We don't wanna break our plug. Really from here, undo your attachment, sort of set it in there. There's probably gonna be some flour or some residual stuff on there, and that's okay. Here you'll just undo this guy here, what keeps it in place, right? Undo each side. And this is where it comes in handy to have a cart at the ready. Because once I have that cart, I can lift up and out, set it here, and if I have anything that I'm prepping on my table, then I can start doing my thing there. So when it comes to cleaning this guy, again, we have it unplugged. Really, your spray and your towel is really what you're gonna use, right? There's really no gunk on here currently, it's nice and clean. But another part of this is that we wanna take the guard off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off and show you a couple different pieces on here. So on the guard itself, you have this guy that's grooved, and you have these guys that are kind of hooked on the back here. I don't know if you can see that hook there. Now when it comes to putting it back on, I'll show you that real quick as well. There's a groove here that matches this. You start it with angled up back there so it grabs those hooks. Of course I can't see anything. Here we go. Grab my hooks, grab my groove, and I just spin it all the way around and I'm on. So that'll take a little bit of practice, but really just use your groove and go from the back so you can hook those things on, right? Grab the bowl guard attachment. So now when I'm ready to take it apart, I go all the way back to the left here, find my groove, pull it down. Again, don't wanna put any of these components through your dishwasher. Wash this guy in the 3-compartment sink, wash, rinse, sanitize, and you wanna let it air dry. So now that I have that off, at this point, I can go ahead and spray the whole thing. I'm gonna wipe it down, right? You wanna make sure you get all up in here and in the back. That flour as it goes, right? The stuff that you're making, your ingredients are all gonna splash up in there. Make sure you're cleaning the shaft, making sure you're cleaning. There can be some dough residue, some flour residue, and really liberally clean the entire thing top to bottom. So again, as I like to preach in all my videos, cleaning is key, because as we like to say, it's gonna elongate the life of the machine, but also gonna make sure it's ready to go, and you're not spending a bunch of time at the beginning of your next shift having to clean a machine and having to do your thing there. So thanks again for joining me today, guys. This has been another session of Learn with Fern. We've talked about a few different things in the kitchen. We just went over the nice big guy, the 60-quart Hobart mixer. Went over on how to use, how to clean, some tips and tricks. If you like this video, check out our other stuff, right? We got some 20-quart mixers we've talked about. We went over our dough sheeter. We've gone over some food processors. Got some more good content coming up. I hope you guys hit that like. Hope you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.